Under the leadership of Mayor Tecklenburg and my husband Luther Reynolds and the Charleston Police Department men and women, we live in an incredibly safe city.
Neighborhood policing, cutting-edge forensics, the best paid and trained police force, and some of the lowest crime rates in the entire state.
If my husband was here today, here's what he'd tell you. You're not going to find a better man to run this city, to accomplish what he's accomplished, and to continue with the projects he's been doing than Mayor John Tecklenburg.
It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, welcome back. This is part two, Meet the Candidates Marathon, Election Day Eve or Election Evening Eve, special edition of the Geno Jones Show. A little over an hour ago, we spoke to Clay Middleton. He's running to be the mayor of the city of Charleston. We are expecting Reggie Burgess, who is running to be the mayor of North Charleston, to come on sometime after 8 o'clock. But right now, we have a man, a friend of the show, a good man, who is the current incumbent mayor running for another term without any further delay. You see the handsome lad on the screen that's got the glow there. I don't know if he's been to South Beach or the south of France there, working on his tan. The Honorable Mayor John Tecklenburg. Mayor Tecklenburg, thank you. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, Geno. Hi, everybody. Glad to be with you. Boy, we're glad it's election day tomorrow, isn't it?
Yes, yes. So off the top, I want to ask you, I mean, this is not new to you, but you seem rejuvenated, revitalized. I love the energy. So personally, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling great. I admit I had a little head cold over the weekend, but I'm past that now and feeling good. And I'm excited about having an election. It'll be my third time running. They say third time's the charm, right?
Yes.
So, but the reason I'm so energized, Geno, is because I love what I do. I mean, I really do. I love being a servant to our city and our citizens. Think about this. Having a job where actually you get paid a little something and you go to work every day and you get the opportunity to help people. You know, that's a really fulfilling thing to be able to do with your life.
Yeah, it's
so
pretty cool.
It brings a lot of joy to me, and I feel so good about the things that our city, my staff and I have been working on and continue to work on. So it just gives me energy every day when I get up and go to work that we are accomplishing some really important and progressive things for the city of Charleston. And we can talk some more about those things, but that's what energizes me, Geno, and kind of keeps me going and keeps me charged up. And beyond that, the other thing about a campaign that's really cool is you get out and you talk to a lot of people and you hear, sometimes you hear their complaints, there's too much traffic, blah, blah, blah. But you also hear about the dreams and aspirations of our citizens. What is they're looking for in life? What's important to them? Is it the opportunities for our kids to get a better education in our city and have a better opportunities for good paying jobs? Is it to have beautiful parks that our kids can play ball in and recreate in? I'll give you an example on the economic front. We have been supporting technology businesses in the city since I've become mayor. And we have a network called the Charleston Digital Corridor that is a network of about 800 different businesses, okay? So the average salary for those 800 businesses is $130,000 a year.
Wow.
Yeah, that's a good number. And I love our hospitality business, but the average tourism related job is only paying about $50,000 a year.
Oh, wow.
So think about creating those kinds of opportunities for our kids. But you know what, Geno? In order to get those jobs, they got to have a decent education. And that's why I'm so focused right now, the second, on what the Moms for Liberty have been doing to our school system and taking away the focus of just educating our kids and trying to muddle things up with all these social issues that they seem to be. They want to ban books and all those other things. So the future is all about opportunities and quality of life, and particularly for our citizens, Geno. I even remember it when I was in high school. I graduated in 73, so yeah, I'm getting a few years on me. That if you had the ability to go to a really good college somewhere in the country, most times you didn't come back to South Carolina, right? There weren't opportunities here. Our kids today have a different sense of that, and focusing on these knowledge-based businesses, be it life science or technology. What I want to do is really create an environment where all citizens have the opportunity to excel and be able to provide for their families. So, that's the other thing about the affordable housing situation.
Yes.
We talked about this the other day, about how the city of Charleston is doing more than any other jurisdiction around anybody else. I can go into that for 10, 15 minutes about all the things we're doing, millions of dollars we're investing, partnerships we've created and all like that. But the other side of the equation is pay people more money.
Yes, that would
People
help.
can earn money and afford a livable place. And speaking of livable wages, that's something that I keyed on when I first ran 8 years ago. MIT does this national thing. You can look it up online. Go to MIT livable wage.
Okay.
And you can type in your county, no matter where in the country you live, and it'll take into account local prices and all like that and tell you what the livable wage is. Did you know when I got elected became mayor in 2016, what we were paying starting wages at the city of Charleston? $8.25 an hour.
Wow. That's not even $20,000 a year. I mean, nobody can live off that now.
You can live off that. I believe we have to set the example ourselves. Okay. We want hospitality businesses to pay their workers more. Well, I felt like the city needed to put its money where its mouth is. And in this year's budget is the highest we've ever started people. And next year it'll get approved in next year's budget with another adjustment. Will be over $19 an hour.
Wow.
That's up from 8.25.
That's huge.
Okay. Over
Yes.
double. And that finally reaches that MIT livable wage for Charleston County. The city of Charleston has stepped up to the plate, and that's one thing I'm kind of proud of, that we are showing that kind of progressive thinking with and by our own actions as well, by what we're doing as a city.
So that's great. So Mayor Tecklenburg, let's take a little deeper dive. I want to drill down. You were talking about this Moms for Liberty, which is really a divisive group that's really supported by, just the whole MAGA movement, very divisive, just misinformation. Now, the Charleston County School Board is not like constitutionally under your jurisdiction, but there's a lot being the mayor of the city of Charleston, considering that all the kids who go to Charleston County schools in your city, you are the custodian. You are tasked to protect them, to make their lives better. So what are some of the tangible things for those who may be sitting around in the barbershops and the beauty salons, hair salons, saying, Mayor Tecklenburg, what exactly can you do to keep from these divisive organizations or Moms from Liberty from banning books and just all the shenanigans and distractions that they're being a part of? What specifically can you do?
Well, a number of things, and first of all, we can challenge them, which I and the other main mayors of Charleston County recently did. Challenge them to be more transparent, number one. They haven't been conducting public business in public. They've been doing it behind closed doors. Number two, challenge them to do their job and look after the education of our kids rather than those other issues. And thirdly, we challenge them on important matters, given the fact that they don't have good consensus among these two factions that are on the board now, to create for themselves a rule, which they can do if they have a major decision like hiring the superintendent, that they do it by a supermajority or 2/3 vote, which will basically force them to have a consensus on major issues before them. That's the biggest function they do, is to hire the superintendent. If they let the superintendent do his job, his or her job,
Yes.
which they did not allow Dr. Gallion to do his job. They were trying to micromanage his job for him. And you see where that got us, right?
Yes.
In normal circumstances, Geno, the city of Charleston does provide a lot of support for the school district through our recreation department. We have after school programs. We have recreation programs. We go to all the schools and try to get kids involved in those during the summer with our summer camps and our reading programs. We support different organizations like Cradle Career, which is now working to make sure every kid in Charleston has good internet access. You got to have that in today's world. If you don't have good internet access in your home today, you're losing already, right? Because you need to have not only access but literacy. So the city is partnering with the district and with a number of community organizations to provide all kinds of services and support for the kids. But if this board doesn't, get their act together, the mayors would seriously consider asking the legislature to make some drastic changes in Charleston County about this so-called consolidated school board that we have now. I do believe that the legislative changes that were made a couple of years ago could have been a little more thoughtful and required a majority election. We have to do that in the city of Charleston. They've been thinking about it in the city of North Charleston. They have that decision to make too. But I do believe you end up getting better representation of the citizens particularly if you allow multi-candidate races, multi-candidate elections, that you require that the ultimate winner get 50%. So in my case, that means like tomorrow, if I don't achieve 50% of the votes tomorrow, plus 50, a little over 50%, then there'll be a runoff in 2 weeks among the top two vote getters.
Okay.
Frankly, Geno, as optimistic as I am about life and everything else, the reality is with 6 candidates in the race,
oh, wow,
it's hard to get 50% because everybody's got friends, their own network, their own supporters. They're all out there working hard, blah, blah, blah. So in all likelihood, there'll be a runoff in my race in 2 weeks from now. And so I ask for everybody's support for tomorrow, but if the die gets cast again to where we have an election in 2 weeks, boy, I'm really going to be reaching out again to you and all our citizens and let them know just how important that election will be in just 2 weeks coming.
Well, we're definitely, this platform is here for you. Let's drill down on the affordable housing because it's a big concern all over and all affecting people from all different backgrounds. But for African Americans, it's always going to be doubly of what it is for the majority population. That's just a fact. You know, a comedian joke said, when a white person catches cold, black folks catch like double pneumonia, COVID. So
Right.
Just look at any health statistic, all statistics, you know, for a lot of different reasons, institutional racism. But so what I want you to talk about with with affordable housing, I'm sure going forward, you expect to win. So what plans, what do you want to enhance? Maybe what new plans do you have to protect our elderly from losing their homes, from gentrification, developers, and what programs will you have, if any? You talk about young people coming back home to Charleston when they graduate from college, not having to go to Atlanta or DC or New York or Chicago or places like that. What programs do you have in terms of just making the rents affordable, or creating an opportunity where it'll be easier for them to get a home, and maybe for some of our elderly moms and dads and grandparents to stay in their homes?
Right. So I often talk, when it comes to affordable housing, about having a toolbox. And particularly in South Carolina, where I think I explained to you at our last session that we don't have the ability to
rent controls, yes.
have rent controls in South Carolina. State law does not allow a city to do that. So we have to find as many tools as we can to put in our toolbox to create more affordable housing, to preserve affordable housing, to try to keep folks in their homes, and that includes renters, to try to make it easier to develop affordable housing. I was just at a meeting a couple of weeks ago, and the new Mayor Bass of Los Angeles was there. She has a huge problem out there, by the way, with homelessness.
Yes.
She quoted 77,000 homeless individuals in Los Angeles County. I mean, that's half of the population of the city of Charleston being homeless.
Wow.
I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around it, isn't it?
Yes.
So we believe, some hundreds. And so that almost feels like a manageable situation compared to having 77,000. Anyway, one of the things that she was touting in her short-term time there as mayor so far, we've done some of this, but she's inspired me to go back and try to do some more. And that's to make it easier and faster to get through the development process, so that a non-profit developer or a for-profit developer, either one, that's building bona fide affordable product, and we have rules about all that, makes it easier for them to get their product going and built and to market. And I thought I was cutting a lot of red tape in Charleston. Boy, after listening to her, I think I can cut a little more red tape. Now, admittedly, in Charleston, we have more rules and regulations in some places. Some of it's because of our history and the Board of Architectural Review. Some of it's because of stormwater requirements, which are important because we're trying to keep it from flooding, right? So we have those extra requirements, but a lot of times you have to go through our boards and commissions to get approvals for things like that. And I think the next logical step is to make those approvals staff only, and have a definitive timeline that, again, if it's a bona fide affordable product, that you move it right through. Now, I think I mentioned briefly the other day, working with the Charleston Housing Authority is just a critical thing for us to do because of the amount of real estate that they own. They, for an example, just last week, they hadn't signed a contract yet, but they reviewed proposals and have a preliminarily accepted one where they're going to take about a 5-block area of housing that totally needs to be redone, and currently has about 300 units on it. And when they're done with the redevelopment, it'll have 900 on it. And it can fit it. There's a lot of open space, and we can go taller. We got some of their product that's just 1 and 2 stories high, that we could go 3 or 4 stories high and create more affordable housing right in our city, close to where people work, right? So those are just some of the many things. We built some units also, Geno, for home ownership,
Okay.
because I'm a strong believer in two things. You build wealth and income by owning your own home or owning your own business.
Yes.
Okay. And so we built these modest homes. They were affordable. And I had this woman come up to me thanking me, Mayor, I used to live on the other side of Somerville and I worked downtown. And my husband and I used to drive like 3 hours a day just going to work and back. And now we live on the east side of Charleston. We love it there. We're going to be good citizens and raise our family there. And we live 5 minutes. We can ride our bike or walk to work. I mean, how cool is that? That's
Yes.
what you want,
Yes.
you know? So those are the kinds of things. Also, to make sure when we do affordable that it's close to public transportation and better public transportation. And that's why I've supported so strongly and helped secure federal funding to build the first new rapid transit system for Charleston. It's going to take a few years to get it built. These things don't happen overnight,
Right.
but it's in the pipeline. Low country rapid transit is going to happen. The first route's going to be from Somerville area, specifically starting at the fairgrounds up in Ladson, come downtown and swing around and get over to the medical university where so many people work. And we'll have park and rides along the way. And everywhere there's a stop, both in North Charleston and in Charleston, we want to promote, incentivize the creation of more affordable housing so that people can have more affordable rents, but they can also get on quality public transportation. That's a major cost factor as well. The third thing is, train people up to educate folks so they have higher paying jobs. They can afford more rent.
Exactly. Or save for college, or save for their retirement. So
That's right.
So we got about 3 minutes. So I know you want to address crime. So I tell you what. Normally we do a closing argument, 90 seconds, but with the remaining time we have roughly about 3 minutes. I'll let you you can give your closing argument, but I know there's some things about crime because just me personally, I see a lot of misinformation out there. So I'll let you speak to that. So if you want to tie all that in to your closing argument to the voters, Election Day is less than 12 hours from now, Mayor Tecklenburg. Go ahead.
Well, you got to know that the number one job of a city government is keeping our people safe, And sadly, there's no place I know of that's either perfect or crime free. But despite what's been put out there, violent crime is down in the city of Charleston. Violent crime is down, and the crime statistics that are up are because our police department is doing its job. Drug arrests and illegal guns arrests are up. And that's part of making our city safer. And I can't stress the importance of good leadership. We had the great leadership of Chief Reynolds,
Yes.
God rest his soul, but now recently appointed Chief Cheeto Walker. He's going to do a terrific job. At the same time, we're addressing how policing is done in a respectful and community-minded fashion. Okay, bring everyone along. I mean, it's been said that the people who need you the most trust you the least, and we need to do that community-minded and respectful policing so that we're enforcing the law and protecting people, but building trust rather than tearing it down. That's how you get even safer, so that someone's trustful enough to give you a call when they really need to call you and say, hey, something's going on down the street here. Y'all need to come check it out, right? If you don't trust us, you won't even make that call.
That's true.
Right?
That's true.
So it all works together. And that's a number one thing. So many, I guess to close out in time has really gone by here quickly. I guess I'll just get carried away
No,
because
you're doing fine.
of what I do. I really love what I do. I get all wrapped
I
up in
know. And when we don't have a chance to always get together, so when we do, it's fine. So just I just want to give you a parameter. Don't worry if you're closing an argument, just give it. It's my show, so you don't have to worry about the time. Just give your closing arguments, and when you finish, you finish.
so so my wife says I get obsessed about things, And one of the things I've gotten obsessed about in 8 years is this whole thing about flooding and sea level rise. You know, I do believe with the seas rising that if we don't take action now, and we are, um, to protect ourselves in the future, it's like 50 years from now, we'll be having to move to Asheville or somewhere in the hills, because the water's coming. And that's why it's so critical. All these drainage projects we're doing, over 32 of them, hundreds of millions of dollars worth, and more to come because it's needed for our future protection. You want your children and your grandchildren to live here? We got to protect this city. So providing that public safety, protecting our city long term from flooding and storms, providing more affordable housing, providing opportunities for everyone to earn more money, and providing those recreation and quality of life kinds of experiences for our family is why we love to live here. Having a great Moja festival. We increased the funding for that this year. We had a grand time. We're building more parks in the city than we ever had before. And we have this bond. By the way, vote yes on the parks referendum tomorrow. So we'll have an additional $70 million to invest in community recreation centers. We upgrade some of our swimming pools. Those are the things that make Charleston such a great place to live, having beautiful public spaces that all our citizens can enjoy. Have you been down to walk on the Battery since we started the low battery seawall improvement down there?
No, you have to invite me down because I'm so like you, so busy doing radio and TV and being a
Yeah.
dad.
People are down there fishing, walking up and down the
Wow.
Battery like that. We can provide that all around the peninsula down there. But the thing about it is, you have to have the mindset to not only protect and do these drainage improvements and protection measures, but make them beautiful. Make them something that everybody enjoys. Go get your fishing tackle out and go see if you can catch a spot tail down there. So anyway, I guess my close would be just to say, Geno, if it's not apparent, I love what I'm doing. We got a great team at the city of Charleston, a lot of great things happening. Don't believe what they tell you, some of my opponents, about what a terrible place this is. I believe Charleston is a great place. I love it. And I'm just about making it better all the time. And I am optimistic. You can't see through this glass, but my glass is not half empty. It's half full. My cup runneth over, and we're going to make Charleston even better going forward.
So Election Day is less than 12 hours. Tuesday, the polls, I do believe, open at 7 o'clock. Mayor Tecklenburg, I've had the honor to know you. I've been here nearly 20 years. You got a beautiful spirit, and I wish you the best of luck. And if there is a runoff, you have a home here on the platform, so you can come back along with the other candidates that like to come back and make another pitch to the voters. Best of luck to you. Hello to your lovely wife, your queen, Sandy, and your whole team. You got a great team, and they've been amazing to work with. But like I said, you're a good man. You got a beautiful spirit. I appreciate that. And I appreciate you coming on the show. Once again, anybody wants to support, volunteer, learn more about the mayor, support in any way, let them know where they can go. Social media, what's your website?
Teckformayor.com. TECKFOR mayor.com.
Thank you. Mayor John Tecklenburg. Thank you,
Part
my
of the
friend.
Team Tech, let's go.
All right. And we're going to close the show with Mayor Tecklenburg's campaign ad. Here we go. Once again, thank you, Mayor Tecklenburg.
Under the leadership of Mayor Tecklenburg and my husband Luther Reynolds and the Charleston Police Department men and women, we live in an incredibly safe city.
Neighborhood policing, cutting-edge forensics, the best paid and trained police force, and some of the lowest crime rates in the entire state.
If my husband was here today, here's what he'd tell you. You're not going to find a better man to run this city, to accomplish what he's accomplished, and to continue with the projects he's been doing than Mayor John Tecklenburg.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of The Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.